Good afternoon, Dr. Klein. I Devin Hurst here to talk to you about the police body cameras. Share my screen with you real quick. Here we are. Body cameras and their use in the criminal justice system. For an introduction, I discussed the use of body cameras such as they're an audio and video recording device used by police agencies, how they are a part of the criminal justice system and have been required. Over the past couple of years, body cameras have been implemented in almost every kind of police interaction. They are pinned on our shirts, vests, anywhere they can be attached and able to see the entire field and interaction with the civilian. When body cameras were first introduced, they were huge. They probably take up your entire chest as well as any other thing on your uniform. But with the evolution of technology, they have become smaller and you can practically put them anywhere. They have gained a lot of attention over the past couple of years, especially with the use of excessive force by police officers. A couple notable events using excessive force was the death of Rodney King back in the early times, death of Sandra Bland about 2 to 3 years ago, and also the death of Philando Castile. These are prominent evidence of police brutality and excessive force used. A little background information. The first use of video surveillance was used in the 1980s. It was with a dash cam, and it was pretty huge. I grew up in Carthage, Texas, which is about 10 miles from Tenaha, Texas. My first instance of a dash cam or just any kind of video technology used with the criminal justice came from an incident that happened right outside of Tenaha. It regarded a police, sheriff, state trooper, someone of those entities pulling over a car of 3 illegal immigrants coming from Mexico. Now, on the video, you could see that the officer walks up and confronts the driver as well as the others. 3 assailants jump out of the car and beat and eventually kill the individual. But due to the availability of the dash camera, they were able to run their license plate and eventually catch all 3 guys. But there has also been problems regarding body cameras as well as other kinds of video surveillance used by police. And this is the fact of an invasion of privacy due to the use of recording in order to said by citizen. Prior research in sometime between 2012 and 2015, Obama proposed a $23 million initiative to increase the use of body cameras. Of the $23 million, $19.3 million were used to purchase the body cameras. $2 million were used for training and technical assistance, as well as implication, and $1.9 million was used to evaluate the changes and any kind of activity that went along with the implementation of body cameras. Now, along with body cameras, policies regarding these are not stable. They change constantly, and each individual department has their own policy regarding body cameras, even though they all must follow the United States policy, which primarily says that each officer needs to wear one at all times. In some cases, the body cameras are used to justify deadly force. And that's just as a means of where deadly force can only be used if someone is escaping and it causes great or immediate harm to the officer or someone else around them. A methodology for the data collection, we were to use and find 20 individuals and have them take our survey for us. These surveys included 10 variables as well as 10 units of measurement. My original plan to get the 20 surveys was to use like Twitter posts, which included social media, as well as just talking and interacting with people on campus as well as at my job. Throughout the entire thing, I didn't really gain as many survey responses through that. So I took the Snapchat, which is it's like sending a picture and anyone seeing it can reply to it, kind of pretty much. I submitted the link to my Google Docs with the snap picture, and in doing so, I received 32 responses. I also found that my responses were representative of the community. My hypothesis were police officers who wear body cameras are less likely to commit acts of police brutality. Police officers who wear a body camera will apprehend more suspects than those who don't. And police officers who commit police brutality while wearing a body camera will be convicted. I chose these three hypotheses based on my introduction, which included the use of excessive force and deadly force by police officers on community members. And I would again reference the death of Rodney King, Sandra Bland, and Philando Castile as three prominent cases. For the data collection results of this presentation, I have included a pie chart from my responses due to Google Docs. The first being police officers who commit police brutality while wearing a body camera will be convicted. To the right, you see the pie chart as well as the question, to what degree do you agree that the body cameras affect the way that police do their job? From looking at the graph, you can see that 51.4% agree that wearing a body camera does affect the way police do their job. In my opinion, this is because they are able to see exactly what the police is doing, and if they are to do anything out of the ordinary or excessive, that they will be documented for it. My second hypothesis, police officers who wear a body camera will apprehend more suspects than those who don't. To the right of the pie chart is my question that I was asked. Do you agree that body cameras aid in arresting and convicting offenders? 94.6% of the people who took the survey agree. And this is because, like, when you interact with the police officer, you come face to face with them. So ultimately, your face is captured on the video as well as anything you say. This has also been a huge help to police because it also justifies the means that they have been provoked or just wrongfully accused of anything, which stem from a lot of complaints if someone didn't get their way. My third and final hypothesis was police officers who wear body cameras are less likely to commit acts of police brutality. To the question that I asked, do you believe that police officers wearing body cameras affect police-civilian interaction? 81.1% of the people said yes. Limitations that I've noticed throughout the use of body cameras is limited resources. Body cameras are a source of technology which is expensive in our day's time, especially with the use of iPhones, Androids, and just all other kinds of social media. It gets expensive, and even those things are starting to tax. And the criminal justice system is stemmed from the state and a lot from the federal. But then again, there is not enough resources to go all the way around. Another limitation is the violation of citizens' rights, just primarily being the right for privacy. Citizens believe that being video recorded and auditory recorded by police officers is invasion of their privacy, and they have protested as well as tried to get this removed. Policy recommendations. In my policy recommendation, I wanted to require all law enforcement officers, includes DPS, federal agents, common municipal officers, just to wear body cameras. Along with this, audio and video must be required and turned on at all times and should not be turned off. Another policy recommendation is that they should not be tampered, altered, duplicated, or messed with in any kind of way in order to obscure or have evidence become void due to the tampering to the evidence. Also, recording should start when the officer leaves the debrief or shift meeting. This depends. but this should always be the case. Another thing would be that copies of the video should only be obtained from superior officers, and in order to gain a copy, you should have to put in a request at the top for the food chain. And there are my references. This concludes my video presentation.